Thinking of buying a used car in 2026? Be very careful. Based on brand new resale data from iSeeCars, some 2021 models are crashing in value, losing over 60% of their original price in just 5 years. That's not a typo. We are discussing luxury sedan cars, electric vehicles, and high-end SUVs that are losing tens of thousands of dollars. Here are 13 cars that will drain your wallet faster than you can say depreciation. Number 1. Jaguar F-Pace. At number 1, we've got the Jaguar F-Pace, and it's bad news. According to iSeeCars, this model loses around 59.8% of its value over 5 years. That's roughly $47,000 in real dollars. Why the drop? So, what's going wrong here? To begin with, there is the Jaguar brand. Though there is prestige in the name, it does not have the same resale loyalty as German competitors such as BMW, Mercedes, or Audi. Buyers are aware of this, and the used market is taking it out in a violent way. You want to buy a nice expensive SUV and feel that you make a wise investment, and Jaguar simply will no longer evoke those feelings in you. And the cost of maintenance factor. Jaguar is also associated with high cost of repairs and visits to the service shop that burns your pockets. Potential second-hand purchasers are not idiots. They are aware of what they are committing to, and most of them will not invest the risk, particularly when they can have a more secure German or Japanese luxury crossover at a similar price. There are also vehicles that can do everything better, which provide the F-Pace with fierce competition. Porsche Macan, BMW X3, and Audi Q5 all have superior driving dynamics. The F-Pace is taking on an uphill struggle with this kind of lineup that it cannot possibly win. Number 2. Kia Niro EV. At number 2, we've got the Kia Niro EV, and it's bad news. According to iSeeCars, this model loses around 59.2% of its value over 5 years. Why the drop? Outdated EV battery technology and range anxiety are the main culprits. That is what occurs when EV technology progresses at a speed that the vehicles are unable to maintain. The basic issue is the range anxiety. The initial Niro EVs had inadequate electric range than current standards, and that matters enormously in the used market. Buyers shopping for electric vehicles today expect 300 miles or more per charge. When the Niro EV can't deliver those numbers, it immediately becomes a tough sell, regardless of how low the price drops. The fact that it is also about battery degradation does not help. Potential buyers are aware that batteries will wear out with use, and since they have an otherwise aged EV, the Niro, they fear that they will pay a significant amount of money to replace their batteries in the future. Although Kia has good warranties, that fear exists, and it completely kills resale. Then there is an overload of newer, better EV crossovers coming to the market. The Ioniq 5 of Hyundai and the EV6 of Kia, the Tesla Model Y, and dozens of others are superior in the range, faster charging, and more advanced technology. What reason would one have to purchase an older Niro EV when they can have something significantly better at a higher price by only a little? They would not, and the market is aware of the fact. Number 3. Tesla Model Y. At number 3, we've got the Tesla. Yes, even Tesla isn't immune. The Model Y, which was the king of the electric crossover segment, is appearing on the high depreciation list of iSeeCars with about 60.4% of the value loss in 5 years. That is a harsh reality check of a car that was bound to make a breakthrough in transportation. It is not a matter of the Model Y being a bad car. It is that Tesla has flooded the market. Manufacturing increased to huge proportions, and overnight you are overwhelmed by Model Ys all over. When the supply surpasses the demand, the price sinks, and that is what is happening. The worn-out market is awash with Model Ys, and simple economics comes into play. Even Tesla price cuts have not benefited already existing owners. Whenever the company cuts the prices of new models in order to sell the inventory, it immediately crushes the value of used ones. Why use secondhand when it does not cost much more than the new one? That relationship has produced downward spiraling that is hurting those who were early adopters and paid full price. Issues of battery life are also finding their way into the mind of buyers. With the aging of the Model Ys, buyers begin to be concerned about the degradation, replacement, etc., and whether the battery will outlast the vehicle. Tesla's reputation for expensive, out-of-warranty repairs doesn't help. People are getting cautious, and caution means lower resale values across the board. Number 4. Cadillac Escalade ESV. At number 4, we've got the Cadillac Escalade ESV, which is losing approximately 62.9% of its value over 5 years, translating to a staggering $56,996 loss according to iSeeCars. When you're talking about a luxury SUV with an extremely high MSRP, the absolute dollar depreciation becomes genuinely painful. Here's the thing about full-size luxury SUVs. They depreciate like stones because the market for them is limited. Not everyone needs or wants a vehicle this massive, and those who do often prefer to buy new rather than used. That immediately shrinks your potential buyer pool and drives prices down hard. The situation is aggravated by lease returns. Cadillac had shifted tons of Escalades on lease programs, and those cars are all being released into the used market simultaneously. There is a huge inventory buildup among dealerships, and this has a huge effect of price pressure downward. It is just pure supply and demand, and at the present, the supply is carrying the day. Cost of operation terrifies low-end used customers as well. The Escalade ESV is thirsty, it does not cost cheap to maintain, and luxury repairs are expensive. A consumer in the used market is already cost-conscious, and he or she is making the calculations. Many will just walk away and seek something even more sensible when they find out what it really costs to own. Number 5. Tesla Model X. At number 5, we've got the Tesla Model X, which is losing value at a rate of about 63.4% in the next 5 years, or a loss of 53,846 based on the iSeeCars data. In the case of Tesla flagship luxury SUV, that is a humorous performance that would raise eyebrows of any individual planning to purchase one new. The issues surrounding the Model X begin with its exorbitant initial price. An electric SUV that costs you 6 figures should serve as valuable as it is not doing. However, the fact remains that the cost of EVs significantly depreciates then near almost anything due to the rapid rate of technological changes. What seemed to be state-of-the-art 3 years ago is almost primitive nowadays. Falcon wing doors would be nice to look at, but are an awful nightmare to maintain. Buyers are aware that any mechanical system that is complicated in nature would cost a lot of repair, and those doors are as complicated as any. When something breaks, and everything breaks, then you have a repair bill which will make your eyes wet. The number of EV advancements has pushed the Model X behind. Newer electric SUV models have better range, quicker recharge, more contemporary interior and software that functions correctly. Against that competition, an older Model X suddenly looks overpriced and outdated, even in the used market. Buyers aren't willing to pay premium prices for yesterday's technology. Number 6. Maserati Levante. At number 6, we've got the Maserati Levante, which is absolutely cratering with approximately 63.7% depreciation over 5 years and a brutal $64,991 loss according to iSeeCars. This is what happens when exotic Italian luxury meets the harsh reality of the American used car market. Maserati has never been a mainstream brand, and it is okay in the case with selling a brand new car to a fan who is not concerned about a resale price. However, in the second-hand market, this niche appeal is a huge liability. The number of people ready to accept a used Maserati is quite small, and the lack of demand then kills prices instantly. It is as expensive to maintain as it is to maintain your reputation. We all are aware that the cost of servicing a Maserati is high. A visit to a specialized garage will come quite often, and it will not be cheap when it comes to repairing the car. Worn-out consumers are not risking to spend on such prices, particularly when they can acquire a more dependable luxury SUV with the same funds. The Levante is another victim of identity crisis as well. It is attempting to be in competition with the Porsche Cayenne, the BMW X5, and the Mercedes GLE, yet it is not playing on the same level as them in terms of performance, refinement, and reliability. This was soon discovered by the buyers, and the used market is already paying out that rudely made verdict in grotesque depreciation figures. Number 7. Nissan Leaf. At number 7, we've got the Nissan Leaf, which was the first mainstream electric vehicle. But today, the pioneering spirit of the Leaf has become a depreciation disaster, as the data provided by iSeeCars indicates that the Leaf has lost about 64.1% of its value in a 5-year time period, which is an annual loss of $18,043. The basic issue lies in the fact that the Leaf is the symbol of the old EV technology in the dramatically evolved market. There is a lack of long-range, slow charging compared to modern standards, and the overall package can be considered old-fashioned in comparison to the offers of competitors today. 5-year-old in the volatile EV market would also be history. Battery concerns absolutely devastate the Leaf's resale value. Early Leafs had well-documented battery degradation issues, and even though later models improved, that reputation stuck. Buyers worry that they're buying someone else's battery problems, and that fear is justified enough to keep them away entirely. The Leaf also uses CHAdeMO fast charging, which is rapidly becoming obsolete as the industry standardizes around CCS. That means fewer charging stations will support the Leaf going forward, and buyers know it. Why invest in a vehicle with a charging standard that's already on its way out? The answer is simple: you don't, unless the price is rock bottom. Number 8. BMW 5 Series. BMW 5 Series and hybrid versions depreciate at a rate of about 64.7% in 5 years, or $47,457 as per iSeeCars. That is a disastrous performance on a car that is the mainstay of the BMW brand. Midsize sedans are losing their luxury status as consumers are moving to SUVs and crossovers. The 5 Series could be a fantastic car to drive, but it is operating in a declining market where the market cannot be found anymore. When there are lower buyers of sedans, the prices fall, and that is what is happening. The new hybrid ones introduce a new point of complexity that scares away used buyers. Hybrids are efficient, but also imply additional parts that may malfunction, increased costs of their repair, and unpredictability regarding the cost of battery replacement in the long run. Most purchasers do not even wish to become so involved with that in a used car, and so the hybrid 5 Series models are completely avoided. Lease returns swamp the market with 5 Series inventory as well. BMW is an aggressive leasing company, and therefore the thousands of these sedans are returned after 3 years, and they all enter the used car market at the same time. That puts tremendous supply pressure that prices the board, and you are spending your time losing money in real time in case you bought one new. Number 9. Maserati Ghibli. At number 9, we've got the Maserati Ghibli, which is losing out badly at 64.7% over 5 years, and their loss is whopping $70,874 as indicated by iSeeCars. This is the type of figure that must make anyone who is considering a new Ghibli think long and hard. The Ghibli was to be the volume model of Maserati and an introduction of Italian luxury to the masses at a lower cost. However, that plan backfired disastrously in the resale market. Probably the buyers, who could also think of a used Maserati sedan, have numerous superior alternatives with Germany and Japan, which are more reliable and less expensive to maintain. Maintenance expenses are astronomical. We're talking about specialized service, expensive parts, and frequent trips to mechanics who charge premium labor rates. The cost of ownership on a used Ghibli can easily exceed what you'd pay for a new mainstream luxury sedan, and smart buyers recognize that math doesn't work. Performance doesn't save it either. While the Ghibli sounds good with its Ferrari-derived engines, it doesn't drive as well as German competitors. The interior quality isn't impressive, and reliability issues plague owners throughout ownership. When you combine poor reliability with expensive repairs and weak demand, you get exactly what we're seeing: total value destruction. Number 10. Infiniti QX80. At number 10, we've got the Infiniti QX80, which is losing about 65.0% of its value in 5 years, a horrible loss of $53,571 as per iSeeCars data. In the luxury brand of Nissan, this is another indication that the Infiniti badge is no longer highly respected as before. QX80 is faced with a problem of an outdated design that has not kept up with competition. The QX80 has not changed much over the years, at a time when Cadillac, Lincoln, and German brands have redesigned their full-size SUVs with new styling and technology. Customers are observant, and they are not ready to pay the same price as the last day. The demand of premium full-size SUVs is already low, and when you are competing with Escalade, Navigator, and BMW X7, the QX80 is not a fit. It does not have the status, the advanced technology, and the luxurious driving experience that a client should get at this price. That lapse in performance is directly translated into lower resale prices. The brand positioning of Infiniti is also a disadvantage. It is not luxurious enough to be put on the same plane as true luxury car makers, nor is it a reliable car like Lexus. The middle ground is no man land in resale market. Customers are not aware of what they are purchasing, and uncertainty is a source of worry. Red flags will come at the cost of reduced bids and a higher depreciation. Number 11. Tesla Model S. Having been the lord of all electric sedans, Tesla Model S is currently losing about 65.2% of its value in 5 years, losing $52,165 as calculated by iSeeCars. That is a pathetic drop given that it was expected to be a car that would transform the automobile industry. The high rate of technology growth in EVs has been vicious to the early users of the Model S. Newer electric vehicles have been significantly better than older ones due to improvements on batteries, range, and software upgrades. A 5-year Model S would seem mighty old nowadays when compared with what you can purchase today, and buyers aren't willing to pay premium prices for outdated technology. Tesla's aggressive price cutting on new vehicles has hammered used values too. When the company drops prices by thousands of dollars overnight to move inventory, it instantly devalues every used Model S on the market. Owners are powerless to stop it, and their equity evaporates while they watch. Lease returns have flooded the market with Model S inventory as well. Tesla leased heavily during the early years, and now those vehicles are coming back all at once. The surge of supply overwhelms demand, prices collapse, and depreciation accelerates. Add in concerns about battery degradation and expensive out-of-warranty repairs, and you've got the perfect storm for value destruction. Number 12. BMW 7 Series. The 7 Series of BMW is experiencing a depreciation rate of about 67.1% within the span of 5 years, and this translates to a disastrous loss of $65,249 as per iSeeCars. This is what occurs when a full-sized luxury flagship runs into the harsh reality of the second-hand car deal. The full-size luxury sedans have a higher depreciation rate than any other type of vehicle since consumers need latest technology and innovations. You are spending this type of cash, and you want state-of-the-art everything, and a 5-year-old 7 Series cannot give that. The technology is old, the functionality is out of the modern day, and the experience is just inferior to the new models. Lease programs inundate the used market with the 7 Series inventory as well. BMW is the company that sells these flagships with the help of leases, which implies that thousands of them also return in 3 years. Dealerships become flooded with second-hand inventory and prices plummet at once. It is a vicious circle, which reprimands anyone who bought and not leased. Used buyers are also scared by operating costs. The 7 Series is costly to maintain, fixing is not cheap, and luxury parts fail in costly manners. A person in the market to purchase a used luxury sedan already has a tight budget, and after they have done the calculation of the ownership cost of a 7 Series, many people will consider it is not worth the headache and go away. Number 13. Jaguar I-Pace. And the first position is the worst of the worst in the iSeeCars study. Jaguar I-Pace losses around 72.2% of its retail price in 5 years, which equals a loss of $51,953. That will not be good. That will be historically disastrous depreciation. The I-Pace was supposed to be Jaguar's electric vehicle game-changer, taking on Tesla and proving that traditional automakers could compete in the EV space. Instead, it's become a cautionary tale about what happens when older EV technology meets a rapidly evolving market. The I-Pace's range, charging speeds, and battery technology all feel outdated compared to current electric crossovers. There is just no demand. Customers who are purchasing electric SUVs are spoiled with choices worldwide. The Tesla Model Y, Hyundai Ioniq 5, Kia EV6, Ford Mustang Mach-E, and dozens of others have longer range, quicker recharge, and a superior technology level, and most importantly, much higher resale values. The I-Pace is a non-starter against such competition. EVs overall are in free fall compared to conventional cars, and the I-Pace is at the head of the downward spiral. The challenge of battery issues, an accelerating technology, and the change of incentives has rendered older electric cars hard to sell beyond any imaginable degree. Take in the poor brand image of Jaguar and its small dealer network to service, and you have right ingredients to the worst depreciation of any vehicle over a 5-year period in America. It is cruel news to I-Pace owners with that 5-year deadline in 2026. Your $72,000 now have a value of perhaps $20,000, and that too on a good day. It is a reality check that not all electric cars can be good financial choices, particularly those that are produced by brands that are not able to maintain them. There you go, 13 cars that look good on the surface but might destroy your bank account on the back end. In case you are considering purchasing one of them, you now understand the reason the prices are so alluring. Want more breakdowns like this? Hit that subscribe button and drop a comment if you want a deep dive into cars that do hold their value.